Just getting Facebook on. Instagram is on. Hello. Hello. Hey there. All right. So today, guys, we're going to be talking about creating your high ticket coaching offer. And this is whether you have one or you're thinking about revamping something that you already have, or you've just been thinking about, oh, you want to add one to your product suite. We're going to be discussing all that today. So feel free to drop your questions or your comments into the chat and we can discuss them here live. Or if you're watching the replay, I'll definitely go back and respond to your comments. But let me know if you're a part of the live crew or the replay crew. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off. A big happy Tuesday to everybody. So creating a high ticket offer for your business doesn't have to be overwhelming, but it does have to be well thought out. Okay. So you can't just take an existing service and slap a higher price tag on it. No, no, no. It does not work that way. So please don't get this misconstrued with the importance of raising your prices if you're not priced at a right price point. But when you're creating a high ticket offer, there are certain ingredients that you must have. Hey, hey, Marie. How are you? Oh, love your page and your curriculum-based course instruction. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining. Uh, love that you joined. So we're just talking about creating your high ticket offer. So I work with my clients on creating their signature program, which is their high ticket offer. This program provides the greatest transformation on when your clients work with you, and it's the most optimal way for them to work with you. So we develop a strategy for their product suite using their signature program as the foundation. So I think the first thing that needs to be done before you even go and try to create a high ticket offer is to look at your current offerings and what they consist of. Okay. Look at your current offerings and what they consist of. Most potential clients that I speak with have a lot of different offerings: pay by coaching session, low cost membership, courses, and all the products they have may be in their wheelhouse or in their zone of genius, which I talk about a lot, but there's no logical progression or logic from one product to the next. It's literally just a bunch of offerings, right? So, what does that mean? They have to work twice as hard to sell each offering and like can really focus on only one product for a period of time because it's just random offerings. So like you'll spend like 3 months pushing your membership, then maybe another 3 months pushing your discovery sessions, and then launching and relaunching a course maybe. So that makes your income become unpredictable, right? And also you are really confusing your client base and increasing your own overwhelm in your business, right? So take a look at what you have now and ask, does my product suite provide a logical progression or is it just a bunch of products? Right? That's the first thing we need to do. Oftentimes we wonder why our client base is all over the place, and it's because our offerings are actually all over the place. Consistency in both your messaging and your offerings is important. So you have to let go of the mentality of just putting things out there to sell something, then rather than creating offerings that are congruent with one another and they can stand alone, but together they add tremendous value and encourage your clients to take the next step towards your high ticket offer, right? So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop those into the chat. I know that was a lot. I'm definitely monitoring the chat on both Facebook and Instagram, so I just want to check in and see. Hey, hey. Okay, someone's live without the finished replay. Okay, cool. Replay will be posted on Facebook as soon as we're done, and then also on Instagram. We do have a question. Marie, am I pronouncing your name right? Marie? How do you know if your current offerings are good or they suck? Well, that is an honest question. How do you know if they're good or they suck? And then how do you find the best lead magnet for your course? Okay, so let's talk about how do you know if your current offerings are good or they suck. So good versus suck, strong words, right? But I think ultimately, well, look at your analytics. Are your offerings selling? I think that's the first thing. Like, is it selling? And I would also look at, is it selling in the way that I intended it to? So like the way that I work with my clients is that your offerings are like a stair step to one another. They can be sold on their own, but realistically, you want people to, if they're first learning about your brand, they're probably going to do some kind of an introductory offer and then they're going to graduate up. So does that make sense for them, right? And are you offering things that are complementary? So like, I would say, so a good example of that would be like target marketing and like creating content. Like, how do you create content for your target market? You can have those two separate things. How do you find your target market? How do you create content, which are two offerings that I have, because coaches and consultants struggle with that. Those things can stand alone, but they go great together. So hopefully that makes sense. Right. So I think also too, if you look at your offerings, and actually, you know what? I think good or suck, I think that you can also poll your current clientele for this. This is really important. So a lot of times I feel like people never actually ask their audience, do they like the product? There's never any feedback. Feedback loops are so important. So they never ask them what their opinion is, how their experience is, and what they're missing. Because I think if you can take a look at all of that data, you would be able to determine, yeah, this product really doesn't solve a problem for my audience. I just saw somebody else doing it and it looked like it was selling well. So I just did the same thing. That's typically how people, like, I feel they come up with these offerings that don't make sense because they like saw it somewhere else and it looked like it was doing well, and so they just plopped it into their product suite. And then your second question was, how do you find the best lead magnet for your course? So I don't think it's necessarily about finding the best lead magnet. So I'm a big fan of reverse engineering anything that you have in your product suite so that it makes sense for that person to go to the next step. So I would think about, what am I teaching, right? What am I teaching, and what's an entry level concept that would want my ideal client to want to learn more and enroll in my course? So and it all goes back to, what are the problems that you're solving with your course, and what are the problems that your target market actually has, right? Because if you've done your market research, you know the problems that your target market has, and you've created a course around that, right? That would have been like what you should have done, right? And then you would have validated it, like, yes, your target audience has this problem and they want a solution to it right now, right? And then as far as a lead magnet, it would be possibly solving like a more entry level problem that like kind of was like a gateway to that big problem that you were solving for your target audience. That would be where your lead magnet came in. So there's value there. And it could be some information, like maybe a short training, and then they see that they actually need more to actually solve their entire problem. That would be the lead up to your course. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of like lead magnet. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Hello, everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going. So let's talk about like high ticket offer. Oh, okay. You teach exit 9 to 5 and start a business. Okay, cool. That's good. I want to save that for later. Because I have something for that. So if you have any questions, continue to drop them into the chat, and then we can go over them like, throughout. But let's talk about your high ticket offer, what I like to call your signature program. Okay. So your high ticket offer, it's the main attraction of your product suite. It is the product where your ideal client will receive their greatest transformation. You should definitely have one, right? Your signature offer needs to have 5 parts, okay? The first, a clearly stated outcome or big result. What will your ideal client experience, and what will they achieve as a result of working with you, right? Don't just create things. It's one of my biggest pet peeve is like, your life will be better. What does that even mean? Like, that is not an outcome. Like, I mean, it is, but it's so vague. It could literally mean anything, right? 2 is the time container. How long does it take them to achieve this result? It cannot be a situation of just work with me until, and we will see. What will they achieve and when? Hi. What will they achieve and when? And a lot of people do not agree with me on this. They do not agree with me about the time container, but I can tell you, you need to have some type of a time container around your coaching or consulting offers. And the reason why is that, just as people, it's human nature for us to want to achieve a result in some certain amount of time, right? we're like already conditioned that way. Also, you don't want to become a crutch for your clients. Like just kind of just having them like come like just hang out and not actually moving toward the result that you want them to achieve. Giving them this in some sort of a structure in a curriculum, right? Some sort of a structure that is time based will help them to continuously move. Now, you will have some people who will not do it. Like, I mean, that is just reality. But you want to have a time container around your services, right? Because you yourself don't want to experience burnout. You don't want your clients to get bogged down and think like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get to the next step or the next leg in my journey, no matter what niche you are coaching or consulting under. Okay, no matter what niche. So time container, extremely important. And I would also add to that, which we're not talking about today, but I would add needs to encourage renewal. So just because you offer a 6-month program does not mean that your clients cannot renew with you for another 6 months or 12 months or however long your program is. The third thing is that your offer should be well positioned, meaning your client can see how it's different from your competitors and how the offer is going to change their life, right? The messaging is magnetic, and so it clearly states what's in the offer, and it's stated in such a way that they can understand. So like you're using their language, you're not using industry terms that nobody understands, right? I always use, because I'm a techie, so like I always use, if I talk about user experience, like UX and UI, and you're like people's eyes glaze over. They're like, whoa, what is she talking about? Right. But a lot of people who are knee deep in the industry, they can't necessarily see, right, in terms of marketing. Your client doesn't care about a website with UX and UI. They care that their website makes them money, right? So UX UI is an industry term, but that's not what you're going to say when you're marketing your services, let's say, as a person who does websites to your ideal client. Number 4, value-based pricing. Again, so people may not agree with me on this side, but you're priced in such a way that you communicate the value of your offer and the sum of its parts is worth the entire investment alone. Meaning one thing that you teach could in fact be the offer, right? But you've combined it so that it like creates this awesome transformation for your clients. That's why I said people ask me like how much does something cost? And I'm like, well, what's in your offer? Like it's not just here's my coaching program. Let me pick a number out of the sky. It's like, well, wait a minute. Like, what is in your offer? How much of your time? How much of your team's time? Like all these things need to be thought about before you just pick a random price for your offer. So people are all about cost. I'm like, yeah, we can definitely look at competitors and like what's typical for your industry. But I would argue, like, how long is this person going to be in your program? Like, you can't just say, oh, this number sounds good. Does that match with the transformation that you're providing? And like what's actually happening, right? So think about that. And the last thing, fifth thing, is high touch. So if you're providing a high ticket offer, you need to be providing excellent customer service to your clients, right? You actually providing guidance on how to achieve the transformation, and your clients have the greatest level of access to you and your knowledge when it comes to the high ticket offer, with boundaries, of course. I mean, they can't contact you at like 2 a.m. and be sending you emails and expect a response, right? None of that stuff. But you should reserve your time, like the bulk of your time, meaning how you're meeting with clients, where you're showing up, to your highest ticket offer, and not having that at every single offer, right? There is an advantage for the higher price point, meaning there's greater access to the principal, the coach, the CEO, right? There's greater access, right? Versus if you have yourself in every single offering, number one, that's not scalable, right? So like you're going to run out of time. So just think about that. And I know that others will probably add transformational to my list of 5 elements, but for me, that goes without saying. And honestly, I feel everything in your product suite should provide transformation on different scales, right? I'm not a proponent of just putting stuff out there because it's low cost or free. Like, why even waste your time with that? Honestly, if you can provide value at every level, then you provide your clients a reason to stick with you. Remember that, right? So even if your high ticket offer is out of reach right now, it doesn't mean it's always out of reach for them. So just think about those things as you're creating products for your product suite. Now, mistakes. that I see entrepreneurs make when it comes to their signature program. They put too much into their signature program because they're worried it's not good enough, worried no one's going to buy it. So they end up trying to cram all their knowledge into one offer. And to be honest, you can't. You end up overwhelming your clients. So just be careful and that's where being very specific about the problem that you're solving comes into play. And also, I see people marketing their expertise versus the outcome of the offer. Like being a life coach or a health coach or a business coach is not enough, right? Me saying that doesn't mean anything. Like if I told you I'm a business coach, okay. It comes down to the matter of, can you help me or not with this specific problem? That's what it comes down to. Also, this leads me to another huge pet peeve of mine, which is coaching on areas that are truly outside of your zone of genius. I know some coaches say, I've heard this a lot. Hi there. I've heard a lot of coaches say you just need to be a little bit further along than your clients. But so while this is true in some respects, it is not true if you really want to provide transformation, guys. Just because I took a French class and learned basic French, right? I took a French class, I learned basic French, doesn't mean that I'm going to go and start coaching people on how to learn French. Like, no, hopefully that makes sense. Go back to your zone of genius where you have legit experience, training, and acumen, right? Also, another mistake I see coaches and consultants make is not having a curriculum. You can't just do 3 months worth of sessions and call it a transformation. You can't. What are you teaching people? What is the outcome, right? This is where honestly clients get upset because you didn't properly set expectations. You were so excited to sign a client for 3 months of coaching, but you didn't actually outline what those expectations were. And it should be a standard, right? Client A and client B, there should be the same expectation so that when you are getting testimonials on what you worked on, it's similar. There's similarity, because if not, how are you explaining to people what it is that you do and how you can help? If it's all over the place, again, your client base will be all over the place. I'm trying to tell you. Also, another mistake is undercharging. It doesn't matter if you're new, right? I know a lot of people say if you're new, you got to slash your prices. If you can get people results, why would you offer it at a lower price, right? Lowering your price definitely, I feel, has a negative effect on the value of your offer, because it's then perceived as something as not as good as your competitors, and or maybe something is missing or something is left out, right? If I see something that's like dirt cheap, I'm like, okay, what's wrong with it? That's like my first thought. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with this? We got to examine to see what's actually wrong with it. Think about this. Is Nike going to discount the shoes because they opened a new store? No. The price is the price, right? And that's it. New doesn't mean discount. New doesn't mean free. It just means new, right? So we need to get out of that mindset that I got to charge 20% of my competitors so I can get clients. The only time I ever really agree with a discounted price for a coaching program or something, a course or something like that, is when you are unsure that you're going to be actually able to produce the results, right? And even then, I don't think it should be 50%, right? Because you really are not going to be attracting your ideal client, which is really who you need to purchase the offer. You really need your ideal client to purchase the offer so that you can actually be able to analyze the results properly. Hopefully that makes sense. If your ideal client isn't the one that's purchasing the offer, then the data that you are gathering is not true data. It's not good data because it's not your ideal client, right? So that's why I'm don't slash your prices so low that you aren't attracting the people that you your ideal clients you really want to attract, right? And in that case, you should also market it as such, as this is the beta, or this is you are testing this offer out. I think you should be transparent and that it's a limited time only if you're going to do that, so that people understand yesterday's price is not today's price, okay? Make sure that you do that. Another mistake that I see is including your time in every single offer you have. I talked about this a little bit previously. Your signature offer is the main reason why people want to work with you, right? It is where they're going to get the most access. They're going to get the greatest access to your zone of genius, and your time is valuable, right? So you shouldn't just give your time in every single offer. If you're doing one-to-one calls with every offer, or you're giving that option with every product, stop it. stop it. You're going to burn yourself out. I'm telling you. So, and look, it's not because you're like this oh so great guru. It's really more so about burnout and scalability. There are so many hours in a day. There's so much that you can do and that you need to give your attention to as a CEO. So, yes, your clients, they deserve to get a lot of love and attention from you. Like they really do, but sure, in such a way that gives them what they need and also gives you a proper work-life balance. Okay. Also, just it's impossible to scale that model because you literally will have no time. Like there's only so many hours in the day. I heard people say they only want to work 25 hours, only want to work 25 hours or less in a week. Well, how are you going to do that if you have to do one-on-ones with like every offer that you have, every client that comes through the door, right? It's going to be impossible. I'm just saying. So your signature offer should have your communication also structured as well. They should not be able to email you, DM you, Vox, or carrier pigeon. Like they shouldn't be able to do all those things. Streamline your communication, set boundaries, right? All these things are part of the offer, and it's important to ensuring its success, right? You don't want to open up all these communication streams if you can't maintain them. Like if it's just you, focus that communication down so that you know that you can get back to your clients in a timely manner. And as you scale, feel free to add more channels, right? But don't do that before you have a way to manage it all. So let's recap real quick and then we'll go through some questions. Your signature offer is the main attraction of your product suite. It's the product where your ideal client will receive the greatest transformation, and you should have one of them. And it has 5 parts. The first is a clearly stated outcome or big result. What is your client going to achieve after working with you, right? Number 2 is a time container. How long is it going to take them to achieve said result, right? Number 3, it's well positioned, meaning your ideal client can see how you're different from your competitors and how this offer is going to change their life and solve their problem. Number 4, it is price based upon value-based pricing, meaning what is in the offer, the sum of its parts, and how long it's going to take to go through the transformation. The sum of its parts is worth the entire investment alone. Number 5 is high touch. You're providing excellent customer service to your ideal clients, and you are actually providing guidance through to a certain transformation, right? With boundaries. Always a caveat, with boundaries. So this is all a part of my brand builder blueprint method, creating your signature offer and having it be the foundation of your product suite. I'm hosting a live private training on Monday, March the 21st at 12 p.m. Eastern for those interested in working with me to attract their ideal clients on repeat, create their signature offer and their lower tier offers in their product suite, create high converting sales funnels and launch that product to their ideal client, and then also create consistent income that would replace their 9-to-5 or freelancer one-to-one business. So this is all things that we're going to go over. The private training will go over those 5 things. And if you're interested in learning more about the Brand Builder Blueprint, then you'll want to click the link in my bio to apply. It's the first link. If you're on Instagram, if you're watching me on Facebook, it's actually in the description of this live. But click the link and apply to the live private training. All right, so let me take a look at questions. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Hello, Facebook, just checking. Yes, you have to embody the wisdom. Oh, a Nike analogy. I'm telling you, Nike is not going to discount those shoes because they opened a new store, y'all. So I don't know who told y'all that y'all have to slash your prices by 80% to get some clients. I'm just saying. All right, let me take a look at the questions on Instagram. Okay, so A. Marie says she's attracting the wrong clients to teach exit 9-to-5 and start a business. Oh, this is so good. Thank you. Got it, like a checklist to see if you're ready to exit your 9-to-5. Yes. So that would be a good one. A. Marie, also a quiz might be good as well. And the quizzes are like one of the a great lead magnet that's hot right now. So you could even do like where are you in your, I guess, like your planning journey to exit your 9-to-5, and give them like a couple of stages. That could be a great lead magnet. Checklist, I think, will also work. You said knowing that most desire a roadmap or strategy to exit. Yes, they do. You said, this is good. Wow, market the transformation. Yes, and yes, yes. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining. Okay, yes. So with the X of the 9 to 5, because I've recently gone through this this myself, I definitely think a roadmap would be helpful. And I think like everybody, I had like my perfect idea of what it was going to be like, and it was nothing like that. I'm actually going to do a special podcast episode on it because it's not going to be funny, but like I'm gonna tell y'all how I thought it was going to go, and then I'm gonna tell y'all how it really went because it wasn't. It just wasn't. It wasn't how it wasn't in my mind how it's supposed to go. But I think, to your point, Marie, a road. Most people do want a roadmap, and I think honestly, everybody's roadmap is going to be different. So I don't know how you work with clients to do that, but I can imagine like everyone's situation is a little different. But there are definitely some key things you should have in place to make it a smooth transition. I think for sure. So hopefully that's helpful. Um, and then I don't know, maybe even I'm not sure exactly how your program is set up, but I mean, are there particular industries that you work with? Like you help people enter certain industries when they exit their 9 to 5. That might also be a thought process if you're niche down that much. I'm not sure, but or if you're just taking whatever business they want to start, or if there's like a particular set of industries that you help people transition into. Um, that might be something to take a look at, a lead magnet. So basically, like gives them some background on what they need to set up to be successful for their transition or what they need. I don't know. Awesome. Yes. Thank you. So this is good. I will take your class. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Any other questions? Oh, somebody on Facebook, you are the sum of all your wisdom. It shouldn't be cheaper or discounted. Absolutely. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. I one of the things that I learned a long time ago, you know, is that knowledge and your experience is very, very valuable, and people will definitely try to undervalue what you have to offer. So don't do that yourself. Don't do that yourself. Don't undervalue what you have yourself when it comes to being able to lead others through transformation. I always say that most of us became coaches because we've experienced something in our lives. We've gone through something, probably some type of a trauma or hurt, most of us, or something that just didn't sit well with us. And so we wanted to make a change, right? Most of us, I feel, are heart centered, what I call heart centered entrepreneurs. And we don't want to see other people struggle the way that we struggled. We don't want to see, injustice or people just not being able to be the best version of themselves. So I think that's why a lot of us became coaches. I know for me, and I tell my story quite frequently, but like when I first started, I was in both the life and the business. Like I was trying to coach under two niches, which is very difficult, which is why I'm a proponent of niching down. But what I came to realize was that I was very passionate about just helping women to achieve transformation in their life, period. So I wanted to see women win in their relationships, in their finance, in their business, in their career, in mommyhood. Like I want to see them do well and get the resources that they need, to be successful, whether, they choose to be, however they choose to live their life, just have that success and create a life that they love. Right. However, I cannot coach under 20 plus niches. That is impossible. Also, I do not have the skill set, right? This is where Zone of Genius comes in. I do not have the skill set to coach under all those niches. I would like to think that I know some things, but I don't have the skill set to do that. But there are so many coaches out there that do, and they are so amazing at what they do. They just need help finding their ideal client and attracting them so that they can provide that transformation. So what I can do, I have business acumen. I can help those coaches and consultants connect on a regular basis with their ideal client to provide that transformation. So that's why I work with coaches on a lot, all niches pretty much, to help them be able to reach their ideal client. So by doing that, I'm achieving my why each and every single day. Every single day. So I'm like, oh, you got a money coach? One of my clients, a money coach. Okay, perfect. They're helping you with your finances. They're helping you to explore investments and create generational wealth. Winning, like winning. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I came to find my niche and really embrace my zone of genius, because I was so torn. I was like, oh, I want to help people in their life, but I also want to help in their business. But when it really came down to it, and me like really embracing my zone of genius, where my zone of genius most lies is in the business arena. So, hi Telly, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. So, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? I want to say thank you guys for joining me today. We got some great questions today. Great questions. Awesome. Okay, so guys, just a reminder, I am hosting. Oh, it says we keep growing and expanding skills, but picking one that we do best. Reconnect your why. Thank you. You're welcome. Always reconnect your why. Always think about what your why is, and a lot of times we get disconnected from it because there's so much noise out there. But just remember what your why is, and sometimes you have to go the unconventional way to achieve your why. That's just the way that it works. So that's part of my gift, is helping people to really embrace their why and incorporate that into their coaching programs. I think we like reject a lot of times what we're really good at or the knowledge that we have because we think something else is going to make us more money, right? But when we really go to validate our idea, we realize that what we had inside of us is what we needed to help people through that transformation. So I don't want people to ignore that, okay? Because I did. That was the wrong thing to do. So I'm out here trying to make sure others do not make my same mistake. All right, guys. So just a little reminder, I'm hosting a live private training on Monday, March the 21st at 12 p.m. Eastern. If you're interested in working with me more to be able to attract your ideal client, create your signature program and your lower tier offers. And we're going to be also learning how to create sales funnels for each of those. And then if you're really interested in replacing your income for your 9-to-5 or your 1-to-1 or your freelance business, this is a training you want to attend. We're going to go over the 5 things that you need to be able to do that. So if you're interested in learning more about the Brand Builder Blueprint program, go ahead and click the link in my bio. If you're on Instagram, it's the first link. Or if you're watching me on Facebook, then it's the link in the description of this live to apply. It's 2 questions, 2-question application. And then I'll send you your invite to attend the training. So if there's no other questions, guys, I want to say I appreciate you. Please feel free to share this live with a friend or a business bestie. And if you're watching this, whether watching it now or later, but you want to send me your questions privately, please feel free to do that as well. You can shoot me a DM at iSimplyShe on Facebook, or if you're watching me on Instagram, then you can send me a DM at I_simply_she. I'm at Crystal Renee on all handles everywhere, so you can send it there too. But just also want to extend the invite to reach out to me personally if you would like to. That's it, guys. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of your Tuesday. Spring is almost here. I really hope that the weather decides what it wants to do and stop being winter, spring, fall, all in all in like a few days' time. Let's hope that. Especially if you're in the DMV, we've had some crazy weather. We had snow. Then it's like it's hot today. I don't even know. I'm just like, okay. But I can't wait. Spring is coming. I'm excited. I love this time of year. Also, my birthday's coming too, so I'm excited about that too. But all right, guys, take care, and I will see you all later. And remember, you too can conquer if you slay hard every day. Bye.